Hey guys, and welcome back to Morgs Menu. So today I'm going to be showing you 3 super easy hot sub recipes. I really like these recipes because they're so simple. I don't even have to show you the specific ingredient list or some specific steps on how to make these recipes on the screen because they are so simple. You just take the ingredients, cook up what you have to cook up, throw them on a bread roll, and throw it into the oven to heat it up and melt whatever cheese you have on it. Super simple and super nice for those nights where you just don't have any energy to think of a fancy meal but still want something delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first sub I'll be showing you is an Italian meatball sub. So this one is probably the easiest of the 3 recipes I'm going to be showing you. So I just grabbed these pre-made turkey meatballs that were in my kind of meat section. You could get these or frozen, or you can make your own if you wanted to get fancy, but for super simple, just grab some pre-made meatballs, turkey or beef, and then grab whatever sub roll you want. This is a long kind of French bread one that we got. I'm gonna cut this into 3. Then you just need some tomato sauce, basil, salt and pepper, and you can either use mozzarella or provolone, and I actually just had this random bag of mixture in my fridge, so I just used this. So first thing you'd want to do is just preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And then you just need to go ahead and heat up the meatballs and the sauce. So you're just going to throw your meatballs into just a normal sauce pot and then throw the sauce directly on top of it. You basically kind of want to just put this like on medium heat and let it just simmer for a few minutes until it just starts to bubble and boil on here. That way you're getting the meatballs fully cooked through and warm. It'll take probably a little bit longer if you do use a frozen meatball, but again, there's no specific time length on this. Basically just put it on medium, put the sauce in there basically until it's covered the meatballs, and once you see it starting to bubble, they're done. While that's bubbling and simmering, I'm just going to go ahead and prep up the bread. So if you already have pre-cut sub rolls, that you can even skip this step, but because this was so big and the meatballs themselves were going to be pretty hefty, I cut it into 3 because I only wanted 1 and Mitch ended up eating the other 2. And we were also pairing this with some homemade fries, so it was going to be a super filling meal. So then you just want to spray a pan down with some cooking spray just to make sure nothing sticks, and go ahead and lay out your sub rolls so that you can go ahead and put your meatballs directly in there when they're done and heat it up. So like I said, for these, because I was going to be just doing 1, I loaded that one up all the way on the right with like 4 meatballs I think I ended up doing, just because that's what I wanted. But depending on the size of your roll and everything, you can put however many meatballs you want. I also topped it with a little extra sauce just to give it a really good flavor. Then lastly, you just want to top it with your cheese. Again, you can use provolone, mozzarella, kind of whatever your preference is for the meatballs. Then you of course want to add a little spices just to give it some really good flavor. So I added salt, pepper, and then just a little bit of basil. You just got to throw it in your oven at 400 degrees for just a few minutes until the cheese is nice and melted. And here's how they'll come out when it's done. So for this, because I cut the bread into 3, is about 480 calories as prepared. Again, that's using turkey meatballs and putting 4 big meatballs on there. So that's going to vary depending on how you prepare it and everything like that. But as shown, the one on the right, which is all I ate along with some homemade fries, just the sub itself was about 480 calories. All right, so next up we have our roast beef melt with peppers and onions. So this is a recipe that my parents always did growing up. Super simple. So you're just gonna need some roast beef. You can either get it directly from the deli, which is normally what we get it from, but it was closed the day that we went. So I just got some normal from the section. Again, the same kind of bread, provolone cheese, whatever toppings you want. So for us, we did mayonnaise and lettuce. And then you're also gonna need just a little bit of olive oil and then an onion and bell pepper. So again, just go ahead and preheat the oven to 400 degrees and go ahead and slice up your vegetables. So you're just going to slice up a bell pepper and an onion into little slices. Very simple. You guys have seen me cut up peppers so many times before, so nothing new here. Just cut it into slices. I think the slices are just easier to eat when they're on the sub rather than doing diced. Then you just want to go ahead and saute them up until they're soft. Again, at medium heat. Put a little olive oil in the pan and just saute them until they're soft. While your vegetables are cooking, you want to go ahead and slice up your roast beef because you're also going to be throwing that in the pan just to get it heated up and cooked just a little bit more. Again, it's deli meat, so you're not really cooking it, but it's just warming it and getting it mixed in with those vegetables to get the flavors to really combine together. You really only need to do this for probably like 2 to 3 minutes just until everything warms up. And then this time around we did a little bit lighter side, so I cut it in half and I ate half of the French bread essentially. So similar to what we did last time, except for these, I put some aluminum foil around the bread itself just so that it would hold its shape well when we put it in the oven. So just distribute out however much roast beef and vegetables you want. I use the whole thing, but again, you could split it out however you want to. And then just top it with provolone or whatever cheese that you like. And same thing as last time, you just want to throw it in the oven until the cheese gets melty. Now this one is a bit more, like I said, because I ate half of the baguette versus just a third, so it's about 600 calories as prepared, but with it being a little bit heftier, it was really filling, so we just paired it with a really light side. And then the last one is a chicken, bacon, and ranch sub. So this one, again, is super simple, really good flavors. So same kind of baguette as we used the first 2 times, just some normal chicken breast or chicken thigh, whatever you want, bacon, some cheese slices. We use this soy slice just to kind of cut down on some dairy, but really any kind of cheddar or American cheese, whatever kind of cheese you want will work here. And then of course some ranch dressing, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And you guessed it, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then we're gonna start by cooking up the bacon. So you guys have seen me make bacon a million times on this channel before. So again, throw it in directly into the cold oven and cook it until your desired crispiness. Then while your bacon is cooking, I just took the chicken breast and cut it into a couple little chunks just to make it easier to cook in the pan. So just kind of even bite-sized chunks, doesn't really matter the size, kind of all a personal preference, but just make sure they're as even as possible so they'll all cook about the same amount of time. And then just toss a little olive oil in a pan at medium heat and go ahead and cook the chicken until it's cooked all the way through. I just kind of eyeballed the seasonings here, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. All personal preference on how much you want of each, but just kind of throw it in there in the cooking process and then cook it until the chicken's fully cooked and all the way through. And again, cut the bread to your desired amount. And then just to arrange it, you're just going to start by putting the cooked chicken down, top it with the bacon, and then top it with your cheese slices. Alright, and here's how it came out. So last step for this is just to, of course, top it with some ranch if you want to, lettuce, whatever you want. So again, because I only cut it in half, it was a lot of bread. It's just kind of a higher calorie meal, so about 700 calories. So if you are to do this, I would suggest just pairing it with maybe a salad or some vegetables just to keep it a little bit lighter. That's going to conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and there are some recipes that you can try for yourself in the future when you want to just do something quick and easy and simple but still delicious. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here and haven't yet subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks again for watching Morgs Menu and hope you have a great day. Bye guys.